How are you going to sell your message in areas where you're under threat from UKIP?
Let's be very clear.
Who we talked
if
to
we
in the
didn't
programme.
have migrant workers from across Europe in this country, the NHS would be in an even deeper crisis than it is at the present time.
Do you accept that many people voted Leave because they were against immigration?
They voted Leave for many reasons, probably including that. But
how big a factor do you think immigration was?
But I'm coming to that.
Did you vote Leave?
Of course I voted Remain. Why do you ask me the question?
Another conspiracy theory.
You follow too many conspiracy theories.
I've just heard people say that you've never been completely unequivocal and that it may be that you secretly voted...
I voted for Remain, but I have made and continue to make criticisms of the EU, the way it's trying to impose a free market across Europe, the way it's trying to impose privatisation on some services, and those are the powers I want to get back.
Can we just go back? What controls do you propose on immigration?
Can we just go back to the point about undercutting workers and communities? Migrant workers come to this country, work incredibly hard, pay taxes. The EU, as is, says access to the single market requires the continuation of free movement, then there's a choice to be made.
Now, what would you say to them?
I would say we have to end undercutting and exploitation. That would in turn probably affect numbers.
But would you then say, actually, I'm in favour of free movement?
Economically, we've got to be able to trade.
You see, here's the problem. You see, look, so today you say we're not wedded to the principle of free movement, but now you've just said, look, if the EU turn around and say, as they're bound to say, because they've all been saying it anyway, you can only have entry to single market if you have free movement, and you're prepared to stand there and say, in that case, I accept it.
The numbers would change a great deal, I suspect, anyway, if we had the operation of the Posting of Workers Directive, which, interestingly, is actually opposed by Central European countries, not Western ones.
But do you understand that you're sending a slightly mixed message? What you're saying today is we're not wedded to free movement, and you're being quite pro-post-Brexit, which is probably what you should be doing.
Why would you not want to be in an exclusive relationship, then?
You know, it's a matter of filling a void as such. What would I rather be? Would I rather be lonely and without anybody, or sharing a good husband?
So it's a compromise for you.
Sometimes it can be a compromise, but other times it can also be... It depends on where your mind is at. It depends on what you're looking for. If your mind is if you're of the mindset that, you know, your goal in life is to find that one true love, that soulmate, that's what you're going to look for. But if in your mind, if your mindset is for something else other than...
Okay, let me ask Gaza, how much money are you making out of all this?
Plenty, loads.
Well, tell me, how much?
I can't give you the exact figure.
Why not?
But personal reasons, it's not something...
How many people are subscribed to your site?
Over 100,000.
Me being in part of music has been the whole of my life. I've grown up with instruments. So, yeah...
So this wasn't like, honey, this wasn't like a novelty thing. This wasn't like a joke act, because that was, I think, how people were getting a little bit confused, and I was kind of not quite sure. I kept saying, I don't get it. I don't get it. But actually, what you've just said there, you know, you've been doing it for a long, long time.
Yeah, most definitely. Literally, you know, the whole of my life since I was very young. I grew up singing to like blues and like R&B records, and you know, literally just like singing along to like rap albums like the Snoop Dogg Doggy Style album.
Another go.
Right.
He was determined to find a way for this family to stay together. Now, whatever has gone on, whatever the ins and the outs, that's not going to happen. I think people are going to be quite surprised, however, that Angelina has decided to fight her husband in public